I'm Chris Lawrence in Dallas with your headlines from North Texas. A sniper opened fire on an ICE facility in Dallas, and as of Wednesday evening, 2 detainees were critically wounded and a third has died. The suspect died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. This happened around 6:40 a.m. at the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Office along I-35 between Empire Central and Mockingbird Lane. As Kevin Reese reports, investigators say the shooter fired from a rooftop nearby.
We are behind the ICE facility here in Dallas, next to the building where the shooter was found, this 3-story building, an immigration attorney's office with a direct line of sight to the back of the ICE facility, where investigators are working now to process evidence that they found on the rooftop. Here is what we know so far, is that 3 ICE detainees were shot, 1 killed, 2 in critical condition, by a shooter who opened fire on the ICE facility here in Dallas, next to I-35 north of Mockingbird Lane. Sources identify the shooter as 29-year-old Joshua John. Officials say he fired indiscriminately into the building and into a transport van at the sally port of the building as detainees were being moved in and out of the ICE facility. They are telling us that 1 detainee in the van was killed and the 2 others in the van, as I said, are in critical condition. The Dallas police chief says the shooter was found on the roof of a nearby building dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And they tell us they found unspent rounds on the roof with the words anti-ICE scrawled on the shell casings. And back on July 4th, multiple assailants attacked the ICE facility in Alvarado, Texas, south of Fort Worth. An officer was wounded there. 14 people have been arrested in that incident. The local ICE director spoke to both of these incidents.
This is the second time I've had to stand in front of you and talk about a shooter at one of my facilities. And I think that the takeaway from all of this is that the rhetoric has to stop. It's just got to stop. It's dangerous, and people are losing their lives.
Right now, investigators, including the FBI, are tracking the suspect's movements from Dallas to Fairview and as far north as Durant, Oklahoma, trying to learn more about his motivations and why this ICE facility. In Dallas, I'm Kevin Reese.
Yeah, and this is video from Durant showing federal law enforcement agents moving into a home linked to the suspect's family. Durant is about 45 minutes north of McKinney. Witnesses tell us they were terrified. And one woman told Cole Sullivan she was already on edge coming to see immigration authorities, and then she captured gunshots on camera.
You can hear the terror in her voice. Denises Robleto tried to figure out who was shooting and from where.
Fueron como 20 detonaciones las que se escucharon. Más de 20 detonaciones y no era de pistola.
In the parking lot of an immigration office in Dallas pre-dawn, she says she feared for her mom, who was at an appointment inside.
Mamá estaba adentro. No sabíamos si era adentro porque miramos el humo, pero como comenzaron a salir gente corría por un lado y nosotros queríamos entrar en el de migración y no nos dejaban entrar.
She hid in her van. Police swarmed the scene, later investigating a rooftop perch where officers say the suspected gunman shot himself.
It's just got to stop. It's dangerous, and people are losing their lives.
The acting head of ICE in Dallas calling for people to stop the violence after another attack at a North Texas ICE location in just months.
I think a cop got shot over there, right there.
This was the scene 4th of July weekend at an ICE detention center in Alvarado, south of Fort Worth. Police say a dozen people staged a protest to lure police to the jail, then shot a local officer in the neck. He's now back on the job, and the suspects just appeared in federal court for the first time this week.
Me acordé de ella. Y es difícil.
Robleto's mom, Myra, made it out okay. The FBI says the suspect wrote anti-ICE on his bullet casings, but shot immigration detainees and terrified the people caught in the line of fire.
Es una cosa horrible porque en ese momento no me puse a pensar en mis hijos, sino que en mi mamá. Sinceramente, es bien difícil.
In Dallas, I'm Cole Sullivan.
We hope you'll keep WFAA as your source for the latest details on this story. And for any new updates, just head over to WFAA.com. A teacher has been let go after video showed her trying to discipline 2 students in Fort Worth ISD. Brittany Costello was in Benbrook, where one of the mothers is reacting to what happened at West Park Elementary School.
Just a week into a new school year at West Park Elementary School in Benbrook, Katie got a call from her 9-year-old daughter.
She's crying, inconsolable, saying someone choked her, that a teacher choked her.
Her daughter told her Gail Patterson pulled her and another student out of class in August. The two fourth graders were in trouble for talking. Video cameras in the hallway capture what happens next. The school showed it to Katie privately.
Within 2 seconds, she grabbed the first student by the neck, then grabs my daughter, holds them both up against the wall for 11 seconds while she's in their face.
It happened in the middle of the day. Katie says the school never called. Benbrook police arrested Gail Patterson last week.
I was disgusted. It hurt knowing that we trusted a school after coming from homeschool. We trusted them to take care of our child, and no teacher in that school took care of my child that day.
Katie and her attorney, Ty Stimson, says the arrest doesn't go far enough.
They don't want to see Ms. Patterson teaching or having any involvement with kids anymore.
Her attorney hasn't responded to our request for comment. Fort Worth ISD says Patterson is no longer employed by the district, but the victim's attorney says they are still moving forward with a formal complaint process calling for more accountability. In Tarrant County, I'm Brittany Costello.
On Wednesday, the Dallas Regional Chamber hosted TEA Commissioner Mike Morath for its annual State of Education luncheon. Dia Wall has an update on our school's performance and the push to retain teachers.
There's a lot to celebrate.
Roughly 90% of our kids graduate from high school on time in 4 years in Texas.
And much of it from Dallas ISD.
This is a revolution. It has been televised. It occurred here in Dallas. What happens in Dallas is rather than paying teachers based on how old they are, there is a rigorous approach to evaluating how much impact they have on us.
TEA Commissioner Mike Morath praised Dallas ISD for its performance-based compensation plan, coupled with $2 billion per year from the state to increase teacher salaries.
You are witness to a movement that is, in fact, transforming public education slowly but surely across the state. 809 school systems have now opted in to this approach. It bumps teacher retention between 8 and 9 percentage points. You're 9% more likely to be on grade level in a district that has adopted this approach to compensation.
At this event in 2024, Morath made his case for a statewide cell phone ban for public schools in Texas.
Ain't no more cell phones in schools. And as far as I'm concerned, I would never want to see them again.
If we learned one thing, it's that while schools are for the students, attention is turning to the educators.
What we do to be as focused as possible on recruiting, on growing, on retaining the gifted talent that we have access to in the classroom, our teachers, is quite possibly more important than everything else that we do.
In Dallas, I'm Dia Wall.
Yeah, my mom worked in public schools for 33 years. A good teacher makes all the difference. And those are your headlines from North Texas.